Welcome to the Samuel Leeds Podcast. My name is Alasdair Cunningham, and today I am going to be asking Samuel Leeds himself what he is currently buying and the biggest mistakes he has made. Hey Samuel, first question I've got for you. Why are you so motivated to helping people?
A few reasons. Firstly, because I think that when you help people get what they want, selfishly you also get what you want. That's just how the world works. Mm-hmm. But also, I like helping people because I think it makes you feel good. Okay. And in all honesty though, if the cure for feeling sad, if you're ever feeling down or depressed or miserable, rather than focusing inward about yourself and how you feel, if you think, well, who can I help? How can I go and help someone else who's in a worse off situation than me? Then it will actually make you feel better. What about Ashley? That Ashley Bubba guy?
Yeah.
Who we were training, who's on our academy? Ashley was in prison and was feeling really sorry for himself, was in prison for a few years, and then he decided, well, actually, there's people that are in here for life without parole, and he offered to have a bed in his cell.
Yeah, he did.
And then he started helping people and counselling people, and then by the time he got out of prison, he was so happy.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. There's a lot of negative people out there will say that it's a facade, shall we say? It's an act. It's not real. It's not. I know it's a genuine you because I know you. I've known you for several years now. But what would you say to these people that say that you really that's not the real you?
I wouldn't say anything to them because I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. I'm just doing my thing, picking up a microphone, sharing my thoughts. I'm a millionaire, and I did that started from scratch. People love to hear my brain and how it happened and how to make business, and I just share it. And if people think some people might be skeptical, or some people might think it's this, that, and the other's an act, or are you pretending to? I'm not really that bothered. I'm just doing my thing.
In fairness, that's what I do love about you. To be honest, that you don't actually care what other people, you don't care what the negative people say about you. I love that. About
I don't even know what the negative people say about me. Sometimes people say, "Oh, you've had a bit of a bashing, haven't you, on that video that you did the other day? That didn't go down well." I don't know. I didn't even read the comments.
Oh, don't you? Right.
I do read the comments in my videos often, but I think
you don't focus on the negative.
But do you know what?
I know that.
Some people are the opposite though. A lot of people, even that do YouTube videos, they'll make a YouTube video and it will have 100 comments, and they don't respond to any of the comments apart from the one or two negative ones. So someone will be like, "Oh, this isn't true, and you're talking nonsense," and then they'll respond to that negative comment. I'm the opposite. For some reason, I don't even see the negative. I'll just gloss over it, and I'll just see the positive ones, and I'll respond.
That's great. I love that. So you got involved in property when you were 17 years old.
Yes.
You're now 29?
28.
What has been the number one hardest thing you've ever had to overcome in your property journey?
Probably annoying tenants.
Okay.
Not me annoying tenants.
Right, okay.
Annoying tenants annoying
tenants.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've had this one property, I've hated it so bad, and I've finally sold it last night.
Right, well.
It was the worst house.
Okay. What was wrong with it?
There was nothing wrong with it, it just had the kiss of death on it.
In what way?
Some people have like bad luck.
Yeah.
I think some houses just have bad luck.
Oh, they attract bad tenants, they attract problems,
failures.
Everything.
I mean, I make a couple £100 a month on it, but then there's always a problem with it. There's a boiler will break, and then I'll be like, oh man, the last 6 months of profit has now gone. But then 6 months later, something else will happen.
Yeah, okay.
And it's just one of those little single-let houses up north. And I've got a lot of houses, and some of my houses are just amazing. I've had some of my houses, I've got the same tenants in that have been in there 8 years.
Yeah, okay.
And then they're amazing. The houses are amazing. They've quadrupled in value. This house, guess what? I bought it 7-8 years ago. It's not gone up at all in value.
Right, okay.
It's just the same.
Yeah, it's just the same, and it's cost you.
And it's not giving me any money because any cash flow that I make off it, I end up spending on some repair. It's and when I sold it, I told the guy I sold it to, I was like, this house is horrible.
It's death. Yeah, the kiss of death in it. And that's good because everyone talks about the glorious, how property is amazing, but to hear actually that you do have some problems is good. I'm sure listeners would love that.
Everyone has problems.
So obviously that's your biggest problem you've had. What has been your biggest? What would you say has been the biggest success, biggest light bulb moment, the biggest thing where you're super proud of?
Okay, before I answer that, can I give you another big problem?
Go on.
Sometimes managing your cash flow. With property, the biggest thing that can go wrong is you suddenly have lots of costs all at once.
Yes.
And I think when you've got, and I just remember this. So if you've got a few purchases going through at the same time, a few boilers break, and a few this, and suddenly everything comes at once. And sometimes you feel so rich. You're like, oh my gosh, I've got all this money in the bank. I've got all this cash flow. I've got all this capital depreciation. Everything's going great. But if you don't budget, and if you don't, and having a cash reserve in the bank is actually smart.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because although cash in the bank is not a good move because it should be invested and it's shrinking in the bank, just make sure that you've got accessible funds, because refinancing houses can take weeks, if not months. So, make sure you've got accessible funds always for emergencies. But my biggest success, the thing that's probably my crown jewel, is the castle that I own.
Yeah.
I own it outright. It's amazing. It's been really fun restoring it.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when we first got that, it's fair to say that we didn't estimate enough for the refurb. It's fair to say. But that was after taking professional advice. It wasn't just, you didn't just click out your fingers and come up with a number.
Yeah, kind of.
We've got, you did? All right, okay. But I'm glad you admit that. Right, okay, that's fine.
I mean, you know what? With the castle, it's impossible to know, because when you've got a building like that, there's underlying issues. Yeah. So there's things like, for instance, we didn't know that there was bats living in the roof, and there was a special kind of bat which has delayed things so much because we couldn't do any work because we had to protect these wonderful bats. And some of the issues, I mean, you just can't predict it, but I mean, it's
what I love about that and the way you bought that property is there's so much cushion in it.
Yeah.
That even if it does run over budget by $1 million, you're still going to make lots of money on it.
You know what? That will run over $1 million. That will be £1 million over budget. That's spent. But I don't care.
No,
I'm not bothered, because the end value is so high. We'll make at least £1 million profit on that. I'll probably become a multi-millionaire just off of that one deal.
No, I don't doubt that for 1 minute.
And when I say multi-millionaire, I don't mean I'll go from X to a multi-millionaire. I mean I'll go from you make good money. I know you're going to make a lot of money. A lot.
Yeah, I know you are.
And it's such the history, so satisfying. The history. I've even the three French soldiers have flown down from France. I think there's only a few that are still alive today. The guy that came down, he was in his 90s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he came down with his grandchild and some different folks and took us out for a beautiful lunch in Mayfair, London, and then flew back to France. Yeah. And the people that we've got to know through the castle, and also the news stories and the media, and it's just so satisfying.
It'll be amazing when it's done if they come back over and actually see it. They're going to come see the. He's telling me
to hurry up because he's obviously very old. Yeah. He said, "I don't want to die until you've finished restoring that castle." So, but the thing is, I am happy for the castle to take a while. I think with Brexit, it would be a very bad time, because when that castle finishes, I want to sell it. Yeah. Okay, not the whole thing, but I'll sell off some of the apartments, and it'll be very bad timing to sell apartments in like now. Yeah. Terrible time. So I'm playing my cards very carefully, and people won't realise how genius I am in 2019 or even in 2020. Go on into the 2000s, people will look back and they'll realise how genius I am because of how I'm playing my cards right now with some of these deals that I'm doing. Because when the time comes for me to want to sell some of these apartments within the castle, it will be the right time, and the castle will finish at the right time, and the budget will be right, and everything will be right.
Everything will sort itself out.
It won't sort itself out. I'll sort it out.
Yeah,
but it will be very good, and also not only the money, but I just think I'm going to live there, man. It's honestly serious. I think I'm going to once we should have a show home. The target is to have in the summer a show home within the castle. Okay. And I think I'll probably move in. That's my plan.
Right. Okay. So getting property. Obviously, you run trainer business. You run we run the biggest trainer business in Europe with the highest success rate. Obviously, you've had a lot of success students come through. I'm being one of them. Why is that so important to you? Like, obviously, we come through the training program. I've been really successful. There's been lots of other successful students. What motivates you to keep going? Because I know the target this year is 108.
I don't know if we're going to hit that, annoyingly.
Okay.
Annoying. Last year, 54 people became financially free as a result of our training, and I wanted this year to double it and do 108. I think we're just shy of 90.
Okay.
So
we've got a few months left. So
we haven't got a few months left. We've got next month is the last month of the year.
6 weeks.
What I'm hoping for though is there's a lot of people that are almost financially free.
Yeah.
So I haven't got to make 100. Like I've got another say 15 people to make financially free,
Right,
but I've not
okay.
got to do that from scratch.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people that are almost
Almost
there. I wish I could
Yeah.
just pull them over the line. I might do that.
Yeah.
On Christmas Day, I might just go around people's houses who are almost financially free of my training, but not quite financially free. Go around the house on Christmas Day, and just get that next deal over the line.
Yeah,
and then,
amazing.
And then I'll be able to get my 108 this year.
You talk a lot about financial freedom. You talk a lot about how you're financially free from property, and how that's what everyone's goal is. A lot of people would argue that running a training business is not financial freedom. So there's got to be a bigger picture. What's the bigger picture for you? Because it is hard work. You know this, I know this. Running a training business is hard work.
My training business, it doesn't bring me any financial freedom. My financial freedom is from my properties.
Mm-hmm.
My training business is something that I do from a missional point of view. Does it make money? Absolutely. But any profits that we make goes back into the business.
Yeah.
It pays wages, and any leftover we'll invest into property.
So then let's talk about your mission then. If you're saying it's about mission, which I know it is about mission.
Yeah.
What is the bigger picture for you?
So from a selfish point of view, I guess I could talk about it as a very noble thing, helping all these people leave their jobs and become financially free, and there is a good intent on it. But from a selfish point of view, I think it just gives me real significance. I think there's a quote, I think, from John Maxwell, who says, "Success is great, but once you've tasted significance, success loses its sweetness."
Okay.
I don't think that's quite how we worded it. In fact, I think I worded it better.
Right.
We should rephrase the quote. But it's really true. I mean, I do get really excited when I make money in property. I do get really excited from doing a deal. But in all seriousness, hands on heart, there's nothing more that gives me a sense of significance and makes me feel proud and happy than when people message me and say, "Hey Samuel, my wife has just quit her work because of your training, and she was working as a nurse, really bad back, and now she's free and she's going to be able to spend more time with the kids, and it's made our lives better." Like, from a selfish point of view, that makes me feel really good. Also, from a selfish point of view, the positioning that I get from running the largest property training company in the UK, like just being able to speak in front of thousands and thousands of people, being able to reach millions of people on YouTube and across the social media platforms, it means that if ever I want to do a deal, if ever I want to do a joint venture, I can easily do that. Also, I get to meet cool people. I get to hang out with celebrities, and I wouldn't be if I was just making loads of money in property. Celebrities wouldn't want to meet me. But because I'm making loads of money in property, but also I'm giving back and I'm helping others do the same, and I'm doing YouTube videos and putting myself out there, it just means that I'm more influential and people want to be with me.
Look, there's a lot of people making a lot of money in property, but they've not got the branding and the positioning behind them like you have.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. That brings a lot of opportunities. Now, obviously, financial freedom, like you could literally stop today. You could literally pull the plug on everything today, go and sit on a beach. Why don't you just do that?
Because there's absolutely nothing more boring and mind-numbing than lying on a beach. Yeah. I mean, I do like to lie on a beach for maybe a few hours, maybe even a few days, maybe. Yeah. But a few weeks, a few months, a lifetime, it would just be torture. I mean, retiring and then doing nothing. I actually think that I didn't know that would be the case. When I first got into property, I just wanted to be financially free, and I was thinking that way I'll be able to just travel. Yes, I'll be able to do some charity work, but I didn't think that when I became financially free, I'd be so gripped and obsessed with wanting to run a training business, wanting to grow and do bigger deals, go on to buy development projects, hire people, speak all over the world, run events. I didn't think that would be the case, but it just gives me a buzz.
Oh, so let's go into today then. What are you actually buying at the minute? What deals have we got going through at the minute? What are you buying at the minute?
So properties that we're looking at the moment that we're putting offers on. There's a piece of land in Leeds, which I've just been looking over at the moment, which is £200,000. That I'm really quite excited about. Build some maybe I think it's an apartment block we're looking to build on there, but that hasn't actually gone through, or we haven't even had an offer accepted on it yet. I mean, we're just in the process of building 6 houses from scratch at the moment in Lincoln, which is going pretty well. Mm-hmm. So we bought that land maybe 4 months ago.
You've done a YouTube video about this one.
I tend to see YouTube videos about everything, to be honest. So that's going well. I think we should be selling those 6 houses. We've done it with a joint venture with someone, so they'll be getting 2. I'll be getting 4 houses, and that should be done in the next few months. Castle, obviously, that's like mega.
And obviously you're doing bigger stuff now, but
I'm doing little stuff as well.
I was going to say, do these little houses still interest you? Like,
Yes.
I'm not talking about little 40 grand houses in Middlesbrough that make £200 a month, but like HMOs, things like that, your bread and butter, because HMOs was your bread and butter. That's where that's what you were known as, the HMO sort of king.
Most of my portfolio is small residential houses.
Okay.
It's single-lets up north, it's HMOs in Birmingham and Wolverhampton, and it's apartments, and that is the majority.
Do you know how many houses you actually own? I know you don't deal with it. You've got a management team to deal with it, but
I've got just over 50 houses. I guess it depends. You could make it sound more because technically, like the castle is a lot of houses.
Yeah, there is.
I mean, there is though. The castle's like I think we've got 12 apartments, 4 houses, and then so. Sometimes people ask me, how many houses do you own? Well, the thing is, I like just yesterday I sold a house, and part of my strategy is buy and sell, and I do joint ventures. So it's not about how many houses you've got; it's more about what's your net worth.
Yeah. Okay, let's forget property for a while. Let's talk about you as a person. What does a typical day in the life of Samuel Leeds look like?
Varies. Every day's different.
Typical Sunday. Let's just say a Sunday.
So all right, a Sunday. Oh, Sunday, just family day.
So you spend the day with Amanda and the kids?
Yeah, Sunday, go to church, then have a nice roast dinner, maybe have some friends over, some family over, and then watch a movie and get an early night.
And if you had to like forget everything, just to chill out, just to have your time with just you, what's the ideal thing you would do?
To be honest, I'm most energized when I'm working
and
when I'm meeting people. So today I've been I just had a meeting with I don't know if I can actually say who it is. We've both been at a meeting with some very, very famous. We're looking at doing some stuff with some very, very high profile net worth individuals. So that was really cool. Couple hours brainstorming, trying to help them with their property plan. Doing podcast. Then I'm going down to. I've got a meeting with the solicitors after this to talk about updating some of our contracts. And then tonight I'm driving to Droitwich.
Yep.
And then tomorrow training.
So we're on the way to Droitwich tonight for the last ever deal finding extravaganza.
Well, yeah, the last one I'm running, and the last ever Never Use Your Own Money Again program.
Yes,
yeah, for sure.
And it's the biggest ever,
best ever.
Yeah,
because usually we might get a couple hundred people, and then we cap it out. We've got like a massive venue. We've literally sold the whole thing. I think we've got 400 people.
400, 450,
and it's going to be insane. I think as well at those advanced training programs, people tend to get deals very fast and make money and make things happen. So if there's 400 people there and it's an advanced training program, that should be able to help me with my 108 mission.
Yeah, absolutely.
I bet there's some of those guys in the room out of those 400. I bet there's some of them that are financially free already because of my training, and I don't even know it. That's the problem. Keeping up. I went to an auction. I went to a London auction a couple of weeks ago. I was asked to come and present or open up the auction, and I was having people come up to me left, right, and centre at the auction. It wasn't advertised as far as I was aware that I was going to be there, so it wasn't like it was my event. But everyone knew me, and everyone was saying, not everyone. I had about 5 people that said that they got into property because of my videos.
Yeah.
And there was 2 guys who are full time in property, financially free, and they got started because of me and my videos, and they came to my crash course like 3 years ago. So I'm like, my 108 figure this year, I bet we've already smashed that. It's almost impossible to track. Every week I bring someone on the Winners Wednesday and I interview them. But and then we have messages and we track, just with a tally about how many people we've helped become financially free. But I honestly believe next year, I just think it's going to be impossible to track. Maybe I should keep tracking it. What do you think? Do you think I should keep tracking it, or do you think we should just say, you know what?
The thing is, the amount of people that's coming through the system and being really successful it's difficult to keep track.
It is.
Now we do have client performance team downstairs. They do keep track of a lot of stuff, but yeah, it'd be good to get them on the Winners on a Wednesday.
But sometimes people become financially free and then they don't want to come on Winners Wednesday because they don't want to put themselves out there because they're scared that their family will start asking them for money, or they don't want they're financially free but they're in a corporate job and they just don't want their bosses to know because they've not actually left work yet and they're waiting to leave work, or maybe they are scared of camera. They're camera shy, or they're worried about how they'll be perceived. So every person that comes on Winners Wednesday, respect, man, because I know it takes a lot of courage to come on the show, but you know what you'll find is when you come on Winners Wednesday, and I bet you found this. What happened when you came on?
You just get your brand just goes bang. I mean, I come on Winners. I was the third person on Winners on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I've not been on Winners on Wednesday for a long, long time. And you get messages from all over the world. You get people messaging you saying, I want to do business with you. I want to JV with you. Can you help me do this? Can you help me do that?
And then what happens is you become more successable. And then suddenly you go from financially free to ultimately financially free or rich. So
and then becoming rich. Yeah. I've seen it happen so many times. Now, think about this, right? We've just run a program last week called Tell the World. And we had Ashley Bubba was on there.
Yeah.
Really nice guy, really inspirational guy. You'll hear his story. He's come through the training program, and we're going to teach him to speak on the stages and to train from stages. What do you see his end goal being? Like people that come through the training programs, like the Tell the World and things like that.
Yeah.
Where do you see them being in 3-4 years' time?
Okay, so start from the beginning. When people first decide they want to get into property, or they want to become financially free, or they want to be successful, they want to run a business, whatever. I think that sometimes they want to do it because they want to be able to spend more time at home.
Yeah.
Sometimes they want to do it because they want to be able to just be the best version of themselves, or they want to travel, or they want to do. But sometimes I really feel that some people want to do it because they want to speak.
Yeah.
They want to become successful because they then want the authority, not in a bad way, but they want to be able to earn the right themselves, because really they have a deep desire to help other people. And it might be their kids. They might want to be like, I want my kids to be successful and happy. Well, before my kids are successful and happy, I'll become successful and happy. Yeah. I'll become financially free. I'll become a great business person or whatever. And then I'm going to teach my kids, and then I'm going to teach other people. So I think with Ashley Bubba, the guy you're talking about, clearly he's a guy who only really wants to become so successful in business and property, I think, because he has such a desire and a fire in his belly to share his story, and he wants to just help more people, which I think is awesome. So I don't know what Ashley Bubba's future is. I mean, the guys that came on Tell the World last week, I mean, there was only 6 people there. It's a very, very intimate program. But I think you killed it, by the way. And I know I ran some of the training as well. But they're going to be awesome.
They are.
They're going to be absolutely phenomenal. I mean, there was Anthony and James, Callum, Ricky, Ashley. I know. Well, we're going to put them all on our stages, and then if they do a good job, who knows what could happen? Yeah. They might end up being business owners. They might end up being mentors themselves or trainers. I don't know, but the future's bright.
Now, obviously, we run a training business. We're advocates for educating, self-education, and I know you've spent a large sum of money on your own education.
Yeah.
There must have been some times that you've invested in it's not been worth it, and there must have been times when what would you say was the biggest return on investment for a training program you had?
I have never invested and regretted it ever.
Cool.
Because even though I've gone on programs and they've not been good, there's always been something that I've learned or someone that I've met which has paid back for the training.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Never have I done it. And now I've been on some really, really, really crappy programs. You get out what you put in with anything.
Yeah. 100%.
You could say to me, Samuel, could you pay me £1,000 and I'm just gonna be a sounding board for your own thoughts, and I'd get a good return on investment.
Yeah.
So, now that's not to say that the programs were good. I've been on some really rubbish programs, but the best program that I've been on, it's really hard. It's really hard for me to say the best training program. I mean, I think, man. I'll have to get back to you on that one, buddy.
Okay, right,
I don't know what the best one's been.
Okay.
I've been on so many. I mean, recently I've just spent £200,000 with Grant Cardone, which just my one-on-one session with him. I had one session with him. I was like, I'll make that money back from this session.
Yeah, I love the way you look at this. The way you look at it's an investment. A lot of people look at paying for education courses as a cost. It's not. It's an investment in yourself. Yeah. And what you said about how you get out of it what you put in is very, very true. There's like, even at my DFE, my original DFE, when it was like 30 people in there, there's I've gone on to do. There was 4 or 5 of us went on to do really, really well. And other people didn't implement as much as they should.
Well, if I remember rightly, when you went to the deal finding extravaganza, like a couple of years back or so, I was running the training.
Yeah.
And you were partnered with a woman, and the woman was a bit of a negative lady.
Very negative, yeah.
And she was like, it seems a bit too good to be true. I don't know if I like this. She was basically just bitching about life and the universe. And she didn't particularly like me either. And then she went on to do nothing. Mm-hmm. And now she's still doing the same thing, I imagine. Yeah. Probably the same financial situation, I imagine. I can't be 100%. But she's definitely not gone on to do anything amazing. Mm. And you're making £40,000 a month in property. Yeah. So ultimately, when you go on a training program, it just shows it's about the implementation rather than about the trainer. I mean, when people come on my training programs, they get results. Believe me, they get results. But I can only give them so much. Ultimately, they need to take action.
People have to be responsible for themselves.
Yeah, for sure. And when I go on a training program, I'm not going to go meet Grant Cardone and pay him 200 grand and then go, right, make me richer. No. He's not going to do anything. What I'm going to say is I'm going to come with good questions and I'm going to say, can you help me? Yeah. Here's where I'm struggling. What's your advice? And then he's going to tell me what I should do, and he's going to give me ideas, and he's going to give me inspiration, and then I am then going to go and implement and make it happen. So it's a two-way thing.
Yeah, 100%. So this weekend we're going to DFE, Deal Finding Extravaganza, last one ever. Is there anything you got in your pocket to replace the DFE? What's next for the Deal Finding Extravaganza? Not Deal Finding. Yeah. Deal Finding Extravaganza is going to continue, but you're not running it. But Never Use Your Own Money Again program.
You know what? I think I just want to focus a little bit more on some of the really advanced students. Mm-hmm. So some of our people in our academy that are doing, really heavily investing into themselves. So I'm going to be focusing on the accelerated coaching and mentoring program where I'm going to be giving, sort of bespoke kind of, literally people, I'll be saying, what's your situation? What can I help you with? Yeah. Where are you at? And going around the room, just really giving people that kind of more intimate support. That's going to be cool. I want to focus more on people that are a bit more serious, and that's why again with the crash courses I'm stepping back a little bit. You're running some of the crash courses. Ryan Ryder's running some of the crash courses. I love doing the crash courses. I'll still run them, but the demand for them is so great. I can't. If I committed to doing every single crash course myself, then I wouldn't really have much of a life outside of being a trainer. So I still 100%. Want the training to happen, and that's why I'm so grateful and glad that we've got people like you who have got the same knowledge I've got now, and are also able to communicate it. They're still going through the same training.
Well, I never thought 2 years ago I'd be doing this. I never thought I'd be able to speak on stage in front of 1,000 people comfortably and authoritatively. So it's really, really good.
Confidence comes from knowledge. If you know what you're talking about, you don't need to be nervous. So you're knowledgeable, you don't need to be nervous.
So what do you think is the move to London? Obviously we've moved our offices to London. We're now all London bound. We're now in London, not London bound, we're here. What do you think? Are you happy with the move? Are you pleased it happened?
I love living technically I live just outside of London. I live in Buckinghamshire. Offices are in London. I think I might rent an apartment in London. So I've kind of got two like a little pad in London where I can sleep over in the week sometimes, and then when I want to just really relax, go back to my the Samuel Leeds mansion. Back in Buckinghamshire.
Been a few times. Nice. And
it's great.
The London lifestyle is, I know,
London's the best city in the world.
It is, absolutely.
It just is. I mean, and people will say, I put that on Facebook and I got a load of hate.
Oh, really?
No, it's not. You're an idiot. Listen, man, it's a very subjective thing.
Yes.
And I've not been to every city in the world, but I've been to many cities, and London is my personal favourite. I love the people. I love the vibe. I love the weather. I like it cold. When it's cold, you can work better.
I like
when it's hot all the time. Man, I was in Miami, and I was just thinking, when I was with Grant, and I was thinking, how does Grant Cardone just live and work here all the time? I don't get it. I love it being cold. I love the seasons. I love how fast paced it is. I love the shops. I love the buildings. I love the cleanliness. I just love London.
I agree with you.
I love the people. I love the opportunities. I love the investment opportunities. I love the properties. It's a great place to live.
Before we get wrapped up, a couple more questions. If there's anything you could, I know you don't live with regrets and things like that, but if there's anything you could have done differently over the last 10 years, what would it have been? If there was, what I'm trying to get at is, if there was a point in your career where you had a decision to make where you went left or right, and you chose left, but perhaps you should have chosen right, what would that have been?
I can honestly say I wouldn't do anything different. Okay. And I know that sounds like, come on, you must be doing something different. Even the bad things, I could say I wouldn't have got on that boat. Yeah. Right? But even when I got on that boat and broke my leg, you were on the boat. Yes, I was, yeah. It wasn't a pleasant experience. No. Look at the good that's come out of that. Look at the stuff. As a result of that, I was in hospital in Uganda. The connections that I made in that hospital with the doctors, and some of the stuff now that we're doing and how we're helping with other patients that can't afford surgeries. as a result of me being there, now there's good. So could I say, oh, if I went back, I wouldn't get in the boat? Well, if I hadn't got in the boat, everything that's happened in my life has led to me being right here with you, having this conversation. So I wouldn't take anything back. And
that's amazing.
The bad things that have happened have just been lessons, and the good things that have happened have been awesome.
I love the fact that you say the bad things have been lessons, not failures, because they're not failures. They're only failures if you stop. But I love the fact that we've drawn lessons from them. Right, okay, so let's get wrapped up. People that are looking to get into property investing, apart from coming to the crash course, what is like your top tips for somebody that's brand new, wanting to get involved in property, doesn't have a massive pot of money to invest, maybe £10,000, and they want to get involved in property? What would you say they need to do? What was their action steps for these guys?
Make friends with other people that are doing it. You know, if you're on your own, it feels like hard.
Yes.
But if I didn't know any other business owners and any other property investors, how could I physically get up and just do it? And it'd be weird. So I think find other people that are doing it. Take massive action. Be unafraid. You know, you gotta be prepared to step out there. And if your mind and your brain is designed to keep you comfortable. Yeah. And everyone wants to be comfortable, but in order to be a successful property investor, you've got to become uncomfortable. Yeah. As I always say, get comfortable being uncomfortable. So just go out and view houses, go to an auction, talk to agents, tell them what you're looking for, make a business plan, run it past a property accountant. You know, just be a little bit unafraid, but at the same time, of course, educate yourself and make sure before you actually put money down on properties and before you make big decisions, just make sure you've got a good knowledge. Because as I always say, property is the second best investment, the best is yourself. Yeah, I completely agree with you. So on that bombshell, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Samuel, you've been amazing as always. Thank you for allowing me to interview you. Guys, thank you very much.